Today we are going to talk about blood supply of the brain or circle of Willis. On the base of these three why, we will explain circle of Willis or blood supply to the brain. Let's first get into the basic. You see this is aorta and this is aortic arch. On the right side, aorta will give us that is called right brachiocephalic trunk. A right brachiocephalic trunk will give two branches, right common carotid artery and right subclavian artery. Okay, from the left side is directly coming out. Okay, so this is left common carotid artery and this is left subclavian artery. Now, on the both side, the left subclavian artery will give us a branch that is called left vertebral artery, and the right subclavian artery will give us a branch that is called right vertebral artery. These two vertebral artery, through transverse foramen, it will move upward, and in the foramina magnum, it will get inside into the skull, and in here they will combine together and will form a basilar artery. Now the internal carotid artery, the right common carotid artery will divide into internal and external carotid artery on both sides. These two internal carotid artery will get inside the skull through that is called carotid canal, and in the carotid canal it will get inside. Okay, as the vertebral artery through the foramina magnum, okay, is get inside into the skull, it forms the basilar artery. The basilar artery will give main two branches. This is called posterior cerebral artery. Okay, now you see here from here above this is cerebellum and below there is cerebellum. Okay, so these above from here above this will be part cerebellum, so this is called posterior cerebral artery. And as the internal carotid artery get inside into a skull, will divide into two main branches. This is called middle cerebral artery and this is called interior cerebral artery. Now there will be communication between the interior cerebral artery, this is called interior communicating artery, and now there will be communication between internal carotid artery and posterior cerebral artery, this is called posterior communicating artery. Okay, now we understand the circle of Willis. So you see this hole is now circle of Willis. But which artery includes circle of Willis? You see here let's start from here. Interior communicating artery, anterior cerebral artery, internal carotid artery, and posterior cerebral artery, and posterior communicating artery and posterior cerebral artery, but not the middle cerebral artery. So it's come in the MCQs. Okay, so this is whole circle of Willis except the middle cerebral artery. Middle cerebral artery doesn't come in the circle of Willis. Okay, so which artery come in the circle of Willis? Interior communicating artery, interior cerebral artery, internal carotid artery, posterior cerebral artery, posterior communicating artery, and posterior cerebral artery. Now let us focus on the other branches of. Now you see this basilar artery, just draw two Y here, so, and also another Y here, just a shadow of this posterior cerebral artery. So it will come superior cerebral artery. Okay, as I told you guys, from below there, now from below this will be cerebellum. So this is called superior cerebral artery. And these arteries, the small branches are called fontaine arteries. And from here you see this one will be for internal acoustic artery, and this one is for inferior cerebral artery. This is superior cerebral artery and this one is inferior cerebral artery. Now other branches are pitched from the internal artery, internal carotid artery, this is you see ophthalmic artery, and here this one and this one you see this one is anterior choroidal artery. And from the middle cerebral artery we got lenticulostriate artery, and from the interior cerebral artery we got medial striate artery. Draw 3Y. Now this is basilar artery, this divide into posterior cerebral artery, internal carotid artery into middle cerebral artery, and interior cerebral artery. Communication between interior cerebral artery is called interior communicating artery. Communication between internal carotid artery and posterior cerebral artery is called posterior communicating artery. Okay, and now this whole circle of Willis, draw this. Okay, and above this is cerebellum, and here this is cerebellum. So this is superior cerebral artery, pontine artery. Draw another Y on both sides. So this one is called internal acoustic artery, and this is called inferior cerebral artery. This is lenticulostriate artery, and this is medial striate artery, medial striate artery, medial striate artery. Ophthalmic artery, choroid